Hello, I'm Sarah Steyert, and this week in Chapter 7, we talked about positivity and mindfulness. And the question is, how can I apply them in my personal and professional life? For myself, I know I have a tendency to let negative situations kind of control how my day goes and what my mood is going to be like. That is something that I've been trying to work on and never put a lot of consistent effort into throughout my various careers. But it is something that I'm aware of and that I want to work on. So, having read this chapter, I think that I have tools now to be able to work on that. Mindfulness is another one. I struggle with forgetfulness because of some injuries that I've had in the past. Um, and so I'm always looking for ways, how can I remember, how can I be more in the moment? And so reading about this chapter today was pretty interesting for that reason, along with this morning, before I even read the chapter and knew what we were talking about this week, I got on my phone and I felt like this past week I've spent way too much time on my phone. And so I was looking at the statistics that my phone keeps for how long I spend on various apps and whatnot. And last week I spent nearly 24 hours scrolling on various apps. And that was just, that was shocking. 24 hours. I spent one entire day doing nothing. And that was, that made me set a timer on some of the apps that I tend to overuse. And I immediately went over this morning and I had set it for 15 minutes. I know that's very like cold turkey, but I decided I don't want to stay trapped in this anymore. And I hit my 15 minutes early this morning. And now my app is actually blocked out. I can't open it unless I agree to give myself more time. And so I've decided this is not something that I want to continue being trapped in. So while it's not necessarily practicing mindfulness, I have become aware of how much time I spend doing things that are not, um, they're not progressing me towards a goal. They're not accomplishing anything. And the free time that I do have always feels like it goes by so quickly. The weekends aren't relaxing. The end of the day is not relaxing. And when I think about it, it's because all of that time is spent looking at what other people are doing online. And it's not something that's helping me in any way. So this chapter brought that more to the front of my mind as well. And so in my to summarize, in my personal life, applying the mindfulness that we talked about in this chapter, I think it'll help me to reduce how much time I spend doing things that result in nothing, such as being on my phone for long periods of time. In my professional life, being aware of how my attitude affects my coworkers and how it affects my work outcomes will also be, it'll be important to make those changes and see what the result of that is um, moving forward. So thank you so much for your time.